Alright everyone, welcome back. If my voice sounds kind of soft and it's like I'm doing an ASMR video, that's because it's pretty much 2 in the morning and I want to keep my voice down so you get a wonderful ASMR experience for this video. As you can probably see, this video is going to be about Kilimanjaro safaris. Yes, I have completed the safari, which was going to be the biggest endeavor for ride construction for this park, and I think it turned out amazing. So we're going to go through everything start to finish. Won't keep you here too long because I know this part can get pretty extensive, but without further ado, we'll get right on into it. Alright, go ahead and start here at the very beginning. We have the entrance to the ride. We have 2 entrances here, one for kind of an exit, one for a normal entrance. The queue line right here. Nothing, extremely extravagant, but that's kind of the point here. And we have the walkway coming up here, and then the bridge going over the road for the safari trucks coming down here. Loops back into the loading area. Now, it took me a few tries to figure out what vehicles I wanted to use for this ride, and eventually I settled on the school buses, which looked the closest to the trucks, and I can dye them different colors. So that's what I ended up going with. I also decided to go with the powered mine trains, because that can offer a consistent speed throughout the entire length of the track without having to worry about lift chains or momentum or anything like that. So we went ahead with powered mine trains with the tan school buses as the vehicles. So this ride does have a loading zone here and then a unloading zone back here, but we'll get to that in just a second. As we go through the first part here, we do have just the normal area where the safari driver will be talking to you about what you're going to see during the safari, everything like that. And then you come around here to the part where you go through the first gate and you enter the actual Harambe Reserve, or whatever it's called. And there actually are quite a few animals in the scenery options that I have through Africa and other ones, so I was able to actually get pretty good variety here. We have these antelope. I think these are antelope. We have antelope right here. Herd of them, foliage, everything like that. Then we have flamingo right here. I like how they are animated. That adds a nice touch. Otherwise, everything is kind of static here. And of course, the hippos. Moving on this, dirt path. Coming up a little further, we have the rhinos. Now, yes, but just like in real life, the entire safari is a real safari. It's not just for show. That means the animals can mingle with each other. Luckily, all these animals in here are not going to hurt each other. But the rhinos are a little bit further back. I did add some styling with the rocks. And of course, in real life, the facade with the rocks they can do extra work to make them look fancy in the front, but obviously in the back they will cut corners because not everything has to be perfect 360 degrees all around it, Coming up further, we go through this part of the safari, and then we get to more out here into the open area, the large plains, like savanna grass area. And now this is where the proportion of the animals can kind of get off. As you can see, that is a ginormous giraffe. Take a look at the size of that giraffe compared to that safari truck. Obviously, it's not to scale, but I think that's hilarious. Anyway, we do have giraffes right here. One of them, bending down to drink. Other ones standing around in the nice open clearing. And then we have zebras. And the zebras are... they are so huge compared to these trucks. It's funny. But obviously this is what I have to do, what I have to work with. It's fine. But we do have a herd of zebra here. We kind of can do a zigzag around them. Come up here. We get into the gate because the next animals that we have do have to be separated. The zebras and the giraffes are not meat eaters. They're fine. They can mingle with each other. However, the next one I'm going to show you is certainly not a plant eater, and that is the lion exhibit. Just like in real life, the lions have their own exhibit. Yes, they are part of the safari ride, but they certainly do not mingle with the other animals in the safari. It's a real safari, but they will make sure that the carnivores are separated. So we have the lions here, and of course they are gigantic looking lions. In fact, if we zoom in, these lions, the art for these lions is weird. they look like somebody took that liquefy tool from Photoshop or something, I don't know. So the trucks come around here, and then we get to the final part of the ride, where the gate comes down and you see the game warden's, or the safari warden's house, or whatever it's supposed to be. And then we get to the unloading station, where the buses will pull up, unload guests, and then get off the ride. And just like that. So yeah, that's the full extent of the ride right there. Obviously, there are quite a few more details that I'm going to point out here in just a second, but that's the full overview. Once guests exit the ride here, they can go back through the front right here to exit back into the Africa area, or they can take a left and go across this bridge and get closer to where the Wildlife Express train is. Also, inside sort of the track is the Gorilla Falls trail, where guests could walk and obviously see gorillas, see stuff like that. However, we don't have gorillas in Roller Coaster Tycoon for scenery. There is a type of roller coaster that has gorilla trains that you can use as ride vehicles, but that's obviously not the same thing. So I just had to make a fake exhibit with empty things because there were no gorillas to use, but oh well. So this is Gorilla Falls, and here they come in right through here. I decided to add a botany section with exotic flowers and these giant Venus flytraps, just to make it look a little unique with the different things you would see on the trail. Coming up here, then we have the leopards. There was one scenery item that had leopards in a tree, and I decided to make use of that and put them in this little exhibit here where guests can look out. And then coming on further down, there is another exhibit here. Again, I ran out of animals to actually use for scenery, so we just kind of made an empty exhibit and just used your imagination to figure out what would go in here. Of course, there's a little area with a restroom and a snack cart here. And yeah, that is Gorilla Falls. This does conclude the Africa portion of the park. Now, I did complete the final touches here for Tusker House, this little gift shop or whatever it is right here. All the other gift shops here and everything, they're all perfect up to every detail that I want for them. And then I also made the Festival of the Lion King show. I made the queue line right here and the giant theater that you go into to watch the show, which is arguably one of the best shows on property in the entirety of Disney World. It's very well done. I will say that with confidence. If we look through the scenery here, it's a circus because that was the closest thing I had to a live show, So that's in there. Turn scenery back on here. I did add a little backstage walkway for workers to use. So with the staff, if they, if there's a mechanic right here, and then Kilimanjaro Safaris breaks down, and the mechanic has to walk all the way around here to get to it. No, it's like, no, you can just take this backstage walkway and get straight to it. So I'm trying to put those in around the park to make things easier for the mechanics and staff to use. But yeah, that concludes all of Africa, which I gotta say, building this safari ride was very fun. I looked forward to it. I liked figuring out how to get the cars to run, how to get the trucks to look just right, the speed, everything, the details. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It's more fun to style, the foliage and the animals and the tracks than it is to style like buildings and stuff. But, once they're all complete, it just looks so good. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I did do some more details right here on the Discovery Island. I built the Pizzafari restaurant, the Tiffin's restaurant, and whatever it's called, Nomad Lounge, with the bridge leading over into the world of Pandora, which will be the next area that we will start building. I built the Starbucks as well as the first aid area right here. Did some more details here. Anyway, these things aren't as important. The main thing I wanted to show you was the Kilimanjaro safaris, because this is probably the flagship ride of the entire park. So, I think that concludes it for this one. Like I said, next video will be us diving into the construction of Pandora, which it should be interesting because it has a lot of alien plants, alien architecture with the floating rocks, and there are no roller coasters, so we'll have to use 3D motion simulators for the Navi or Flight of Passage and the Navi River Journey. That'll be easy. That's just a slow-moving boat ride. But anyway, look forward to that, and then that will be the completion of Animal Kingdom. It's kind of crazy to think that Animal Kingdom is almost done. I know it's only one of 4 parks, but still, it's kind of exciting to have a park complete. And technically, it should be the biggest park land-wise. But that depends if I want to include their parking lot for Magic Kingdom or not, because if I do want to include it, then I think that would be bigger. But, oh well. Oh well. Alright, I think that concludes this video. Thank you for sticking with me throughout all of this. I think it looks pretty good. So I will catch you guys in the next installment. Goodbye.